Bob Beckel. That's how we do it around here. Well, the stakes are high for
Speak for yourself.
Wisconsin's recall election tomorrow. It's being hailed as the first big test of whether taxpayers can control entitlements and special interests. Governor Scott Walker is being challenged by Democratic Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett. Now, last year, Governor Walker passed a bill stripping public sector unions of some of their collective bargaining power, triggering national outcry from labor with massive organized protests over the last year. I almost made it through that, Bob.
Great job.
I mean, my gosh, he's convulsing over here next to me, as you can see.
First of all, you were having a contact high for me.
It really is.
Exactly,
it's just, he's so happy you're back. It's like euphoria all through his body.
I was happy he was back till he said he wasn't happy to see me. But let's take a look.
I was calling on him.
Did you finish? Is it your turn?
No, I did it. But you're crying. You should take a moment.
Okay, somebody else talk. I'll get back.
Brother Eric.
This is against Scotty Walker.
Maybe we should get the numbers out there, the real numbers out there, before Bob starts making up the fuzzy math numbers. Here are the numbers. Governor Scott Walker took over. The Wisconsin economy is $3.6 billion in the hole. He's now closed that gap completely. He's leaving them. He saved them over $1 billion now. Unemployment went from 7.6% to 6.6%. But most importantly, how did they do that? They do that by closing the union ranks. The number of union members, when he took over, 62,000, down to 28,000, 54% drop in union numbers, which means they can renegotiate all those contracts and save the state money.
That's mescaline numbers you've got on there, buddy. I mean, that's
Isn't
ridiculous.
that a salad?
The fact of the matter is that only 33,000 jobs have been created under this governor out there, when every other state has had many more than that, number one. Number two, the reason unemployment is down is that they've got triggers, thanks to Bob LaFollette back in the 1920s, that allowed Wisconsin people who were out of work for a certain period of time to be employed by the state, which Walker couldn't get rid of.
But guess what else is down, Bob? Because of Walker's leadership, union rolls are down. So all Walker did, one of the things he did, was give Wisconsin voters a choice.
Right.
Do you want to join a union or don't you? And guess what the people chose? They chose not to join the unions. That's absolutely true.
Because they want their money.
He stripped them the right of collective bargaining.
They want the money.
No, that's absolutely true. And all he asked them to do was pay 12% of their health insurance premiums and put up 5.8% of their paychecks for their pensions. That is so far down from what private employers ask their employees to do. It's so fair what he's doing. Unemployment is down. And look, I think he may come out of here a winner. But the lesson will be, can you cross the unions as a politician
He probably is going to win that race, regrettably. And that's because all this far right-wing Republican money has been pouring in there. They've outspent the opposition 3-1.
Okay,
can I make a point?
How are you feeling?
Right.
I'm
feeling great. Here's the thing.
Lay it on us.
Here's the big lesson here. The big lesson here, if Walker wins, is the private person doesn't have the luxury to campaign politically for their survival every day. A private person goes to work every day. He doesn't think about politics. When you're in a union, your survival is paramount. So you're like a gold medal fighter that's fighting every day politically for your own survival. That person loses against a private individual. That's a huge story if the voters win. That's a big deal.
There's a bigger point, Bob. You're saying he's probably going to win this race. It's not a race, Bob. It's a recall. The Democrats said, let's recall Governor Walker, and they're going to lose miserably. And while they do lose miserably, it's going to send a signal to all the other Democrats out there. Scatter, guys. This is not something you want to fight.
Let me get serious here for a second about this governor friend of yours. The guy has stripped people of their rights, their constitutional rights to balance and to bargain collectively against their employers. You're proud of that? You blame big unions. The fact is only 9% of this country is union. And the fact is that every safety job you've got...
But even FDR was against public unions having collective bargaining.
Look, the point is that somebody signed a contract with them, and a contract ought to be binding. I don't care who signed it. Unless you're broke. Unless you're broke,
then all bets are
George Bush got us broke. You want to start paying it off?
It's Bush's fault that Wisconsin's broke?
No, sure.
Holy cow.
Can we have happy?
Now I've heard it all.
No, I'm not going to be happy about this because I think this guy is a scab and a union buster.
A contract is always valid.
That's a compliment.
Except for when the president tries to bust up the contracts at Wall Street.
Look, collective bargaining in public sector is like the kid playing Santa Claus. They're always going to get what they want. This is the only way to stop it. And this guy has guts. Walker has guts for standing up to him.
And people thought he was going to get...
And he may pay for it.
And
who's good? I hope he does.
They threatened him.
Oh, what a shame.
I'm just saying, he was trying to do his job, which is the responsibility to the state to be fiscally responsible. And instead, he gets threatened. We're going to throw you out of office. And now it looks like 3% he's ahead.
Have you ever heard
Yes.
You have, okay. One of the greatest labor lunatics, who's governor, a senator, and a presidential
Yeah, I
candidate,
know.
right? Wisconsin was the home of the great labor laws of this country, and this fool
What does this say?
and that right-wing Republican legislature completely cut out
Bob,
one of his
this
knees.
problem in what Wisconsin is happening all over the country.
Right.
Oh, well,
and this
that's-
is bigger than just Wisconsin. And so if the voters vote to defeat Barrett and put Walker back in, that's
Why
a
don't you have
huge
no
signal.
public employees?
It's
How
a
would that
huge
be?
signal to the unions and the rest of the country.
Okay,
we've got
you guys have no public employees, no teachers, no anything, no ambulance
Look,
is
now,
fine.
you know what they can do in Wisconsin now? They can pay their teachers based on merit. They can have merit-based pay.
It's about, you know what, we all talk about evolution, and schools talk about evolution.
Well, Walker,
Shouldn't-
that's a good word for
shouldn't
Walker.
labor unions evolve? They're seeing what the writing on the wall.
The writing
Should
on
they
the wall
change?
is
Where's
this.
Walker
The writing on the
evolution?
wall is
Right.
this. 30 years ago, unions represented about 22% of the country. Now it's down to 11.5 or 6%. The unions are a dinosaur, a dying beast. Let them go away. Time to go away.
Well, then what are you so
necessity.
worried about them for?
You know
Why
why?
don't you just leave
Because
them alone?
hold
Stop
on.
picking on them.
They're bankrupting
you keep
us.
trying to recall
They're
the governor that-
they're bankrupting us.
They are.
George Bush's tax cuts didn't bankrupt us.
Okay, hold on, Bob. Here's something positive. They did do a lot in terms of organizing the workforce and getting benefits and
Thank
rights
you.
for employees, but there comes a time when the pendulum swings, and we need to be focused on fiscal responsibility and putting more money in the hands
Then-
of the hardworking people so that they can
If
do
that's the
it.
case, then let the Bush tax cuts expire, and we'll get some fiscal responsibility.
No,
So Obama
no
will
They can pay for their
expression. All right,
outrageous
coming
pensions.
up, you hear a lot of stories
Outrageous
in the
pensions.
media about kids bullying some of their classmates. But when we come back, we're going to show you a very heartwarming video of some grade school kids who rally around one of their classmates with cerebral palsy. You don't want to miss it. And Bob will be in a better mood, I hope.
Yeah.
I'm in a great song.
When you breathe, I wanna be the air